confused about how to improve your situation. It makes us question our reality. It's gaslighting. Be especially careful of messages that sound like, you did this to yourself, but you can undo it with my course or service. Courses and services can't guarantee safe passage through the troubled waters of tech job hunting. Toxic people need you to feel like you didn't just break your own situation, but that you are broken. And then you become so busy blaming or defending yourself. Did your favorite author announce that companies don't really need people like you? Did someone you admired for their stance against the dilution of your work and industry now promotes that dilution? How about the person who convinced companies that they didn't really need your role now wants you to buy their course on how you can be the more desirable candidate and stand out? Done with them. Not going to press like. Not even going to comment to disagree. Let them sink to the bottom of the algorithm ocean. And be careful of toxic positivity as well. Excuse me. And as I'm reading, go ahead and leave comments, thoughts, questions. I'm seeing some of these. Barely a day goes by without a social media post telling us to keep our heads high, know our worth. The next job is just around the corner. It's fate. Or something better. Did my stream stop? Can anybody tell me if my stream stopped? Nope, this seems to be alive. Okay, well, let's just take a moment and pass this. Okay, so sorry, the wrong thing got posted to my Discord group and they're asking where is the stream. I'll restart this slide in a moment. But people, it stopped temporarily and it's back now. Okay. Yeah, not too sure what happened there. I'm focused on the Your Life After Tech stream. Not too sure what's happening on the other channels. Let's see. Sorry about that, everybody. Just quick technical adventures here. Yeah, it looks like it stopped on the CXCC channel, which is strange. And then I'm not too sure about Life After Tech. So I'm sorry, I think Your Life After Tech is still going. Let's see. Yeah, Melanie says, came back. Okay, so we're going to keep going on the Life After Tech channel. Not too sure what happened there, but maybe YouTube doesn't like you multiple streaming on lots of channels at the same time. And my husband says I'm back live. Okay, thanks everybody. So let's go back to the toxic positivity slide. As I was saying, be careful of toxic positivity. Barely a day goes by without a social media post telling us to keep our heads high, know our worth. The next job is just around the corner. It's fate, or something better is coming. That might feel motivating to someone who's still early in their job search, but after months and or hundreds of applications, cheerleaders can feel far from inspiring. These comments and suggestions lack empathy. Cheerleaders don't see our situations through our eyes, experiences, and realities. The advice tends to be non-actionable and can contribute to mental health issues when we're hard on ourselves for not seeing more sunshine peeking through storm clouds. And again, you don't have to press like or share on the toxically positive people or on the people blaming you, telling you you didn't do the right work, or making it sound like your layoff or unemployment is your fault. Don't reply or comment to disagree. That teaches the algorithm to show this content to more people because it must have been worth your time to comment. Let them sink to the bottom of the algorithm ocean. Consider unfollowing or blocking them. Walk away. Put your oxygen mask on first and protect your headspace. Really quickly, I'm just going to check where we are live or not live. Are we live on LinkedIn? Then we'll continue with the slides, and then I promise there is an exercise. There it says, join Debbie's live video event. Okay, good. At least I'm live on the LinkedIn. Looks like the other ones may have died somehow. Okay, strange. All right, so thank you for your patience. Technology, can someone please improve it? So part of the book, or really a lot of the book, is what I call my Phoenix Flight Plan. This is something that I created to help myself figure out what I was going to do next, and then I kind of standardized it and threw it all together and made it a framework that you can follow in the book. So we're going to get the short version here for today's lightning lesson. In chapter 4 of the book, you get an overview of the Phoenix Flight Plan, which has 8 key phases. Core personal qualities. You have a set of unique qualities. We'll list the ones that easily spring to mind and dig to unearth deeper ones. Phase 2, sense of reward. We don't want to hate our future work, and many of us dislike our past and present work. Find a sense of personal reward in all kinds of work, even tasks you might not love. Phase 3, belonging. More than an HR buzzword, belonging is a sense of community, connection, and harmony. 4, grounded goals. Messages about your work having to be your passion or life's calling keep us chasing, waiting for, and working in jobs that are never quite right. We might have unreasonable expectations. We'll dump fake ikigai, which we'll talk about next, and examine the standards our work areas need to meet or exceed. 5, potential work areas. With the previous phases and their exercises as groundwork, because remember there's 18 exercises in the book, so you keep building, we'll brainstorm which general types of work we might shift into. Phase 6, check for matching. This checkpoint examines which work areas best match us and are likely to be most viable. 7, work area specifics. With work areas narrowed down, we'll brainstorm more specific job possibilities and entrepreneurial activities that can provide a part-time or full-time income. And phase 8, scenario planning. Should we invest in upskilling? Where should we live? Could our own business cover some or all of our monthly expenses? Considering different options and scenarios, in phase 8, we'll create personal budgets and optionally, entrepreneurial budgets. Exercises and actions make this process completely yours. Your story, strengths, opportunities, and next steps. Yesterday in Gaming says toxic positivity tries to melt your boundaries rather than the brute force method most people are used to, both dangerous to your mental health. Thank you for that. Okay, let's burn fake ikigai to the ground. In chapter 8 of the book, we look at phase 4 of the Phoenix Flight Plan, and that's the grounded goals framework. I start in that chapter by addressing Maslow's hierarchy of needs and some of its shortcomings, and I also look at ikigai, or what turns out to be fake ikigai. We often hear ikigai as defined as, quote, a motivating force, something or someone that gives a person a sense of purpose, or reason for living. More generally, end quote. More generally, it may refer to something that brings pleasure or fulfillment. Why are we here? What's our reason for living? But it's very telling and unfortunate that a non-Japanese person turned the Japanese concept of ikigai into a Venn diagram about your job. The diagram shows that your ikigai, or sense of purpose, is the meeting point shared by what you love, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. The diagram shows that your profession would also be your passion, mission, and vocation, your true calling. It can be hard to separate our work or profession from who we truly are, why we're here, and what deeply fulfills us. Repeated messages make it seem like our work must be the path to fulfilling our passion, life mission, and calling. Please throw this Venn diagram and crappy definition of ikigai out of the window. Let's put a big black spot on it there. I don't even want to see it. It's something else. Don't confuse your sense of personal purpose with your work. It's really okay if your job is just a profession, the intersection of what you're decent at and what you can be paid to do. It's something you do for X hours a week. It makes you money so you can live. It's a transaction. You get it done and you get money for doing it. I've seen content aimed at people considering leaving or actively leaving a tech career. The message tends to be that you can get out of tech, follow your passion, and do something you love. Or someone will trot out the so-called ikigai Venn diagram, which we're in the process of replacing. We should do things that we love, but these just might be our hobbies. We might not get paid to do the things we love most. Hands up or emojis up. Who wants to pay to watch or listen to me sing? Not enough of you for me to make that a career or a side income, and that's okay. When people think about new work possibilities or career directions, they sometimes look back at their hobbies and wonder if they can generate serious income. Sometimes they absolutely can, and it's worth investigating and calculating. Sometimes the job we're paid to do is unrelated to our hobbies and passions, but paid work facilitates our hobbies and passions. Having work and collecting a paycheck allow us to spend time and money on what truly makes us happy. You've had at least one tech job or project that didn't match who you are at your core. It wasn't your dream, passion, mission, vocation, or true calling. You might not be passionate about a web page that helps people apply for loans. Optimizing engagement is probably not your life purpose or calling. Nudging people to use an app more might not be aligned with your personal mission. What gets you up in the morning and makes your life sing might not be improving trucking and logistics software. And you did the work anyway, as best as you could, and you collected payment for that work. You found something you could hold on to that told you you were doing the right thing or something good for somebody. It's great when we're passionate about our work, but your work might not be your passion, and your passions might not be satisfied by your work. I replaced Maslow's hierarchy and fake ikigai. My grounded goals framework doesn't claim to help you find your passion, mission, calling, or life purpose. I'm focused on your work and job possibilities for the next chapter of your life. This model shows concentric circles where the foundation is what you can be paid for. There are then inner layers of circles representing what you'd be okay doing, what you can become good at, what your world needs, and what your world pays for even when money is tight. Brainstorm and consider multiple possible work areas that make money in industries or companies that you can at least tolerate. You don't have to love your job. It's better when we like it, and maybe we do love it. But there are many rewarding jobs that pay decently that you can tolerate even if you don't love them. Your job doesn't have to be your passion, mission, or life calling. Another goal of the framework is to consider what's more likely to make money and hopefully be recession-proof. That's that inner circle that says even when money is tight. Not your money being tight, your target audience's budgets. I might love helping bands record albums, but when times are tough, they'll do that themselves and avoid paying outside people. It's great if you can do something you truly love. You might grow to love work you at first didn't love. It's a bonus. But it's okay to mildly like whatever you do. Many of us have spent years in tech mildly liking what we did or the company for whom we did it. Fellow Mystery Science Theater 3000 fans might remember the song Are You Happy in Your Work? From the 1944 movie I Accuse My Parents. The song asks different professions like waiters and bankers if they are happy in their work and do their jobs merrily. The question is answered by a chorus of, "You'll be happy with your work if you're in love." We might be okay doing various types of work if we find love, passion, and belonging outside of work. Bring your authentically happy self to a job you like or tolerate, and it'll help you get through the day. We might be okay doing work we don't love if we can use our core personal qualities from phase 1 to find intrinsic rewards. So kind of skipping ahead in the book, I want to talk about where I ended up on my own personal journey, which was how I ended up writing the book. After I went through the Phoenix Flight Plan and spent a lot of time on this, I spent months on the process and then weeks turning it into a book. Where did I end up? Well, I ended up with a lot of things at the same time, and you might too. You might end up with one thing, you might end up with a zillion things, and that's okay because your process and your outcomes are unique to you. So, what would I do if I stay in tech? So I've got 3 plans for that, and they're pretty broad in general. So my staying in tech plans are mostly about where I live, because I already know what types of tech work I'm likely to qualify for, and I don't think I'm going to be able to transition into other areas. My specialties are in CX and UX and strategy, research and design. I don't think I'm going to become a product manager, and I don't think I'm going to become an AI trainer or a content writer. So assuming I'm staying in the lanes of what I've been doing, the return to office and hybrid working requirements mean that I might not be able to get remote work. So I've created 3 plans for if I can get some tech work, either a full-time job or contract or whatever it might be, because I don't want to move. I don't want to leave where I am. And that ties into chapter 5, which is the sense of belonging. I know I belong here. You may or may not have the same feeling where you live. Maybe you're okay with relocating or you're desperate to relocate, but I know I belong here. So we've got chapter 5 about sense of belonging. And then we circle back to that in chapter 12 and we do an exercise around belonging. I know I belong here, but I worry that I might have to leave here to find paying work. So staying in tech plan A would be finding remote work and staying here. Plan B would be commuting for work. Maybe there's a city near me that only wants me in the office 2 days a week, and I'll fly there, work 2 days a week, and fly home. That's very possible. I know people who do that in America, especially on cheap carriers. Maybe I can do that too. Plan C would be to have to move far away from where I am in order to get a job. This is not my top choice because not only do I belong where I am now, but my husband and I agreed that if that happened, I would move without him. He and the dogs would stay here. So I would be leaving without key people and animals in my life. I would be leaving a place I love. So it's possible. Plan C is possible. It could happen. It could be what ends up happening, but it's not my first choice. And then in the book, I go through the Phoenix Flight Plan for what would I do outside of tech. And I land on 4 work areas for myself: writing, teaching, coaching, and something I'm calling Vale la Sosta. Oops. All right. So all of my animations didn't come up correctly. I made this slide this weekend. Sorry about that. So let's just load everything up and I'll speak to it. So writing. I don't have to write about tech. I can write about career coaching and introspection and name my book Life After Tech. I also published my first book this summer, about my dogs. Yes, I wrote a children's book about my dogs called Canetti Perfetti. Yes, you can find it on Amazon. It was fun. And I love writing, so I've started offering book-related services through my deltacx.media website. I hope to do more ghostwriting, as well as helping other people plan, structure, and edit and self-publish books and courses. My favorite professor from university might be interested in having me help him self-publish his new textbook. Not tech. Then we've also got teaching. I wrote a new course this past summer, and it's not even about tech. It's about better writing, presentation, and public speaking. I'm planning on writing some more courses, but I'm not sure what I'll write next. I think there's a reduced interest in tech courses, so I'm trying to decide what I'm going to write and when. I would like to do more corporate training, even if that is in tech. I'm not against working in tech. I'm for it. Maybe I could teach at a college or university level, but those jobs don't seem easy to find and they don't seem to pay very well. So I'll keep them on my list, but it's not my top priority. Coaching is really heating up for me, especially even since I finished writing the book, just some weeks ago. Things are already evolving for me because I am taking action. That's a key thing. Take action. I've been doing private coaching for many years. In fact, I recently checked. I've done over 250 hours of it, and I'd love to do more. I tend to coach where my expertise is, so working with people doing CX or UX, research or design work, or being a leader or strategist in it. But I'd like to, I'm starting to move more into career coaching as well, and I've decided to pursue being a certified coach, as I've noticed that being certified can open up some job opportunities for me. So I am starting level 1 certified coach training next week. I hope to have level 1 and possibly level 2 certifications next year. And I recently signed a contract to be a job perk at a European tech company. The company will pay for coaching hours with me. So yes, that's tech, but I still like tech. Nothing in my book says you have to leave tech. But speaking of not tech, Vale la Sosta. So throughout the book, you learn that I am starting a non-tech business with my husband. His family owns some farmland near where we live, which is the island of Sardinia in Italy. And later this year, we'll be requesting authorization from the town to use some of the farmland as a camper stop, as it's called here. You might call it a campground or a holiday park or an RV park. Come stay overnight in your camper, van, or tent. This is still very much in the planning stages and not so much in the doing stages. But once the town says yes, we will be out there with shovels and all kinds of things to do the manual labor to get it ready. So I'm hoping we'll get approval and that it'll be open for Easter 2025. So my Phoenix flight plan and the Grounded Goals framework helped me figure out what are the main areas that I want to shift toward. In the book, you learn about some things that were on my list as possible work areas that I crossed off because they really didn't match the Phoenix flight plan very well. And when I did some checking on the Grounded Goals framework, it didn't look good. So some stuff was obvious, some surprised me, and some evolved as I wrote the book. And hey, I don't have it all figured out right now. My story is still being written, and so is yours. So a couple of resources I want to mention before we try an exercise together. First of all, I prefer Discord over Slack. I think it's more community focused. They don't delete old posts and it's easy to be anonymous there. And I find that this topic still has a lot of stigma. People are telling me, I can't press like on your LinkedIn posts. People will see that I like a book that sounds like I should leave tech. And again, Scott, the book has catchy names like Customers Know You Suck, but you don't have to leave tech. But I understand people's apprehension. We need to talk about this topic more so there won't be stigma around adding non-tech side work to your world or possibly leaving tech. The Discord has over 100 people. Hey, Phoenixes in Discord. And it's starting to be more active. And there's also a channel for each exercise in the book in case you want to share some of that process more publicly. Up to you. Of course, Coaching showed up on an area that I want to do more of. I do offer coaching. The first one is free. The rest is paid. So that is a little bit of a paid plug of something I get paid to do. But if you have a coach that you like, or you have a therapist that you like, please bring the book into those sessions. See if that person will work with you on this. Look at some of your work, speak with you about this. I think that adding coaching to this process can really help give people more support. But again, the coach doesn't have to be me. There's lots of great career coaches out there, some certified, some not. I'm not certified yet. Catch me in 2025. And just make sure you're trying this and getting some help. So the exercise we're going to do today, and first let me read some comments that came up. Solomon's here. Hello, Solomon. At some point, people started expecting their job to provide the kind of emotional fulfillment that have typically come from outside a work setting, having good friends, a supportive family. Yesterday in Gaming said Solomon 100%. I think that was because HR folk and big tech companies pushed the idea that the company could fulfill all your needs, including feed you, wash your clothes, etc., i.e. infantilization. Yes, I agree. Yesterday in Gaming also says, all UXRs are born to be farmers, working with your hands, intrinsically meaningful work, constant evolution of technique for better yield, and most importantly, your work is undeniably valuable. Yeah, I don't know if I was born to be a farmer. I certainly have some dirt under my nails today, but not because I was farming, but because my dogs all escaped and came back muddy, because I live out in the country. The funny thing is where I live, I think you're not allowed to be a farmer unless you've gone through a certain amount of schooling and education in farming. So I can't even be like, hello, I'm a farmer. So even here, there's it's a little bit different, but that's okay. I don't want to be a farmer. I want to run a campground with my husband. So if you have any comments or questions, keep them going. I think I saw one pop up in Discord, though I won't name someone's name. One of our friendly Discorders says, yes, I really appreciate the focus on practicality. My passion right now is getting a steady paycheck. I hear ya. For sure. I'd love to see that as well. I haven't seen that in a while, and it's definitely stressful. But we've got chapter 3 to help us with that. So again, don't forget to grab yourself a Life After Tech book. There's digital versions and print as well. So we're going to do an exercise from chapter 4. So this is not the first exercise in the book. In fact, let me count. This is... Where'd all my exercises go? Where did all my exercises go? Where'd all the channels go for the exercises? Oh, there they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is exercise number 6 in the book. So there's stuff that comes before this and plenty that comes after this. This is going to be based on this. And it's about the first phase of the not the grounded goals framework. It comes before that. This is the first phase of the Phoenix Flight Plan, your core personal qualities. And once we have a better sense of these, the rest of the exercises in the book fall into place and have more context. So let's first talk quickly about what are your core personal qualities? And then we'll do it. We'll go into a Miro board and we'll try it together. So as you consider life and work changes, it's a good time to look at who you truly are. Core personal qualities, or CPQs, are the nouns and adjectives that describe who you are at your core. Consider how you think, behave, and react, what you prioritize and how you make decisions, your attitudes, feelings, habits, and perspectives, how you approach new situations and understand them, how you find problems, solve problems, and take action, how you tend to approach tasks, processes, and projects, your calling or what drives you, positive qualities and traits that you and others like or love about you. So remember, these are all meant to be positive things about you. There's a separate exercise in the book for areas you think you have room for improvement in, but these are positive qualities. So remember, core personal qualities are the unique set of elements and characteristics that you utilize when understanding a situation and attempting to complete a task as successfully as possible. And so with that, let me talk a little bit about the exercise we're going to do. You can head on over to the Miro board. You can find it at lat.link, which is my URL shortener, lat.link, LAT for Life After Tech, lat.link/W, the lowercase letter W, 101. And there is a password on the Miro board, and it's book in lowercase letters, because Miro passwords have to have at least 8 characters. Join me there. Don't do anything yet. Let me explain the exercise a little bit. So remember, before we think about what work you will do, let's think about who you are at your core. Make a list or use sticky notes. Which qualities do you like, love, or admire about yourself? Which aspects of yourself create a feeling of pride? Avoid job and skill words. Think about the deeper qualities you have regardless of your work. How would people close to you describe your positive core personal qualities? The exercise aims to break us out of defining ourselves with job-related words or ideas. Focus on core personal qualities which have nothing to do with Microsoft Excel and Figma. And this is not about arrogance or thinking too highly of yourself. It's okay to have qualities you like or love about yourself. I'm not going to call anybody's name out, so feel free to post anything you like on the Miro board. I'm not going to point you out, and I'm not going to disagree with what you've written. So join us on the Miro board, lat.link/W101. The password is book. And yes, there are Miro boards for all 18 exercises in the book. There's even a template in the Miroverse, and so we're just using one of these today. So let me switch over to the Miro screen. Okay, I think it's Chrome 3. Yes, I've done it. All right, I worked hard on this, everybody. Solomon says, funny, I actually considered becoming a farmer sometime last year. I figured the animals and plant life would better appreciate my diligence. Plus, they were less likely to exhibit emotionally manipulative and abusive behaviors at me. Agree. Yesterday in Gaming says, I say that half jokingly, but I think it's based in truth. Also, in theory, it takes care of the independence issue. You wouldn't have to convince others your work is valuable in order to eat. I hear y'all. I hear you for sure. All right, so let's take a look at the Miro board. Keep the questions and comments coming. I'm going to be taking a look at them. So great to see lots of people here. I just put a few of mine. In the book, I have like 3 pages of them just to get you thinking about it, because I think in the Delta CX and CXCC and Life After Tech community, I think some of you feel like you're similar to me. So I tried to write out all the ones that I could so that you could borrow from mine. But for this example, I'm only using, oh, I've got the wrong book cover here. Oh boy, I gotta fix that. Okay. Book cover in Miro, as if I didn't have enough to do. We updated the subtitle of the book, and this looks like the old one. So I put down for myself, organized, good at seeing possible outcomes, helpful, pragmatic, intelligent, high ethics. So these are things that I am at my core, no matter what job I'm working in, no matter where I'm living, no matter what situation I find myself in. This is just who I am. And in many ways, it's who I've been for many decades. As a little kid, I was many of these things, and maybe they've changed a little bit over time, and certainly I've grown, but there's a lot of this in who I am and have been. So let's see what people are starting to write. Listener, analyzer, facilitator, mediator. Okay, we have someone who really wants to get in there with people and understand situations and solve problems. Lots of interesting work ideas can come from that. Peacemaker, kind of a diplomat. That's interesting. It sounds like it's maybe this person may or may not welcome conflict. They may want to make the peace and create the diplomacy rather than go in there, with the teeth of the dog. Abstraction modeler, very interesting, a little esoteric for me perhaps, but very interesting. Empath, I think a lot of people who join me on this channel have empathy, and real empathy at that. Detail oriented. I like that. I like the idea of the attention to detail. Creative. Yep, that was on my list too. Caring, again, I think a lot of people who are high empathy are caring people who are often selfless as well, sometimes too selfless, but it's important to take a look at ourselves and think these things through. Team player, yeah, totally fine. I ended up putting in the book for myself that actually in many cases I don't prefer being a team player. I prefer working out a lot of things myself and then might go into a team scenario more secondarily. But yeah, you can certainly be a team player. There's no judgment here. None of these are wrong. There's no wrong answer. This is who you are. And it's important to think about who you are. And if you have trouble coming up with positive words about who you are, ask your friends, ask your partner or loved ones. And it may sound weird, but hey, what are some things you like about me? I do it in the book. I say, here's my list and I'm probably missing something. So let's ask my husband, what are some things he likes about me that aren't on the list? He thought of a bunch of things. That was very nice of him. Deep thinker. Yeah, very often, certainly someone who is an analyzer or analytical is probably a deep thinker. So a lot of these match. We have someone else using some blue stickies at the bottom who said patient, listener, supportive. These are great. Being accepting, diplomatic, inclusive, hilarious. Yeah, I think I put funny in mine. So you must be funnier than I am. Learner. Yeah, maybe lifelong learner and open to new ideas. Not everybody is open to new ideas. Just write something about politics on Facebook and you learn how quickly many people are not open to new ideas. And that's okay. That's just who they are. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be who we are. And writer. Yeah, so writer might not be a core personal quality, but it might be something that these can possibly translate into, though you would have to move further into the book when we get into specifics and figure out what would you write. Because, for example, I don't want to write about fiction. I don't want to make stuff up. So not all writing is going to work for me, but some writing will work for me, and you will go through some of the same process. Someone's added risk awareness. These are all really interesting. So again, think about who you are at your core. Think about even if you think about a work skill, start peeling away the layers of the onion and think about what makes me good at that. I can say, hey, I think I'm a pretty good UX researcher. Okay, but why? What are my personal qualities that make me a good researcher? And that is where I want people to go. Because you can say, I can use Figma. Well, congratulations. Hello, Solomon. Okay, fine. So you can use Figma, but what makes you a great designer? What makes you someone who understands how to do interaction design or information architecture or plan spaces? So even if work-related things are coming into your head, see if you can peel away some layers from that onion and think about, well, what's this really about? It's got to be about something that's really about who I am, no matter what my work is. Because, just again, to use myself as an example, which I do throughout the book, all the vulnerabilities out there. Before I worked in UX, I worked in the music business. And I've got at least one story in the book about working in the music business in something that to most people is going to sound really unrewarding and paid terribly. But I look back on it fondly and I found it very rewarding. Why? Now you're going to have to buy the book. I can't give it all away. I'm trying to sell the book, y'all. So I'm hoping that our time together today will make people interested in the book. The print books are $18. The digital versions are $10. And hopefully these are fair enough prices. And again, please don't leave a review yet on Amazon. I do want you to leave a review, but Amazon messed up my book and I probably have to take the book down and put it back up with a fresh ISBN. And if you leave it a review, that review will go away. So I will bug you in a week or so about please leave a review now that you've read the book, whatever your rating or review is. I'm not going to tell you what to leave, but please leave something, but not now because it's probably going to go away. because I'm having trouble with my book launch. All right, so let me switch back to a giant image of, well, it's a small image of me right now, and we can go to the big image of me. Okay. Are there any other last questions or comments, especially about the book? Because again, today was the lightning lesson to learn a little bit more about the book so you can decide if it's something that you want to get. Again, I recommend getting it sooner rather than later. Oh, I should mention, even though Amazon messed up my book launch, there's nothing wrong with the book. It's the behind the scenes stuff that's messed up. It's not posting some people's reviews. I think the sales reports are incorrect. It's not letting me run ads in the Amazon system for the book. So something's really broken in the database, and I just need to take the book down and start over. But the book itself is fine. If you order from Amazon right now, you'll get a lovely book and the same book I'm going to put back up. So you can still buy the book from absolutely anywhere. The book itself is fine. It's something about the Amazon database is corrupted and nobody seems to be able to fix it. So I figure take it down, put it back up, try again. Yesterday in Gaming says, very helpful and valuable talk today. I don't hear a lot of UX folks considering working with other UXRs to start their own businesses and outsource what they aren't competent at. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, ultimately, my book is for everybody on the planet. It's not just for UX researchers or UX practitioners. That happens to be my background. But when we take a look at layoffs, and especially tech layoffs, we're seeing all kinds of people laid off from tech companies. We're seeing product managers, engineers, DevOps, marketers, HR, and recruiters. So my book is really for anybody in any job at all who's thinking of a career change. But if we're focusing on tech, it's really everybody in tech, because the layoffs have been affecting almost everybody. So could UX folks work with other UX folks to start businesses and outsource what they aren't competent at? Why not? But you don't have to just work with other UX folks. There's lots of people out there who have lots of skills and core personal qualities that will be complements to who you are and what you can do. And why not work with them? Why not find a laid-off product manager? Why not find a laid-off engineer? These people are going to have different skill sets and different core personal qualities than yours. So again, I don't want people to think that just because it's me coming from the CX and UX world that I'm only talking about CX and UX jobs or people. I'm really talking about everybody. I mean, when I look at LinkedIn, everybody's having trouble finding a job. This isn't just one group of people. There's product managers and marketers and developers and QA engineers and business analysts. And there's so many people that are being laid off, mostly for bad and made up reasons. And so for me, the book is for them. That's why it's not called Your Life After UX. It's called Your Life After Tech, because it's for everybody who wonders if they're done with tech or if tech is done with them. It's also for all the people feeling burned out by tech. Even if you think you want to stay in tech and you like some tech jobs, many people are burned out and they're not sure they want to go back into tech. And that's okay too. So the book is really for lots of people in different situations. Any other comments or questions before we wind down? I'm still curious why those other streams stopped. It's weird. It says they're all streaming. Life After Tech, 16 viewers, 1 on Twitch. Hello, Twitch person. Please follow and subscribe. It says Delta CX fell apart. LinkedIn streaming. So, but it doesn't tell me how many. So I'll go over to LinkedIn. So yes, hello LinkedIn. LinkedIn is still alive and streaming. So Yep, got some people there too. Please, please, everybody, please, if you're at all interested in the Life After Tech multiverse, I'm going to be doing a live stream every Wednesday, a kind of Q&A AMA, so you can ask questions and talk about some of the things on your mind, and I'll do my best to do a little free mentoring. We also have the free Discord community. And please, please, please subscribe to the YouTube channel or the Twitch, because I don't love algorithms and I worry a lot of my LinkedIn posts are dying in the algorithm, and I really want people to connect with me somewhere where there isn't an algorithm between us. Yes, there's still one on YouTube, better on Twitch, and better in the Discord. So come on over. All right, so I'm going to wind down. I will cue up our closing theme song, and I will see everybody. I'm going to now start separating things out. So CXCC will stream over there. Life After Tech will stream over here. Everything will go on to LinkedIn, but LinkedIn loves to not tell people that I'm live. So again, best to please subscribe on YouTube or possibly Twitch. So yeah, thanks again for everybody coming to the lesson. Linda probably sent an emoji that hasn't come up yet. Yesterday in Gaming says, thanks for creating a community around your ideas. Yes, the Discord is completely free. I hope people will join it. There isn't a Slack or a different community right now. Create a Discord account. It's a little bit of a learning curve if you haven't been there before, but there's a lot of things that are Slack-ish, though I think it's better. Cool companies I found says, I love this session. Alicia says, thank you. Yes, thank you. So subscribe, and ring that bell, and give us a thumbs up on YouTube. And after the stream ends, please leave a comment, since that helps in the algorithm, and we want lots more people to know about Life After Tech. All right, everybody, see you very soon on another live stream this week. And now I will theme song us out of here. Bye.
It's whatever, and it's never. Is it better?